Today, I had the privilege of witnessing a fascinating conversation between Zlatan Ibrahimović, the legendary Swedish footballer, and a reporter from France Football magazine. This dialogue wasn't just about his illustrious football career, it also peeled back the layers of Zlatan's personality, a man brimming with confidence and pride, yet deeply reflective about life. The reporter, a young man with curious eyes and a gentle voice, kicked things off with a question: have you ever managed to find that Fido Dido, the BMX bike from your childhood that you mentioned in your autobiography I Am Zlatan Ibrahimović? Ibrahimović, lounging comfortably in his chair, his sharp eyes softening with a hint of nostalgia, let out a light sigh. No. It was stolen by some thieves, and I never got it back. But maybe that's karma, because when I was a kid, I stole countless bikes myself. Still, it's a shame, I really liked that bike. The reporter, smiling faintly, nodding as if in understanding, pressed on: if you could find the culprit, what would you do to him? Ibrahimović, with a sly smirk and a mysterious grin, replied, I'd buy him a new one and take mine back. The reporter, his eyes lighting up as if he'd uncovered something intriguing, continued, you've talked about this a lot in your autobiography. Do you think it was a turning point in your life? In a way, didn't it shift you from being a victim to becoming a thief? Ibrahimović, his eyes narrowing slightly, as if peering into the past, answered, no. Back then, I was just a reckless, clueless kid. I had to do whatever it took to survive. I needed a bike to get around. I even stole to make ends meet. After my favorite bike was taken, I kept stealing others. Not because I couldn't afford to buy a new one, but because that's how I lived. Sure, it was wrong, he paused, as if lost in thought, but what choice do you have when survival's on the line, right? The reporter, nodding with empathy in his eyes, asked further, so now, what would you steal from football to give to that young Zlatan back then? Ibrahimović, chuckling softly, his voice warm and steady, nothing. I'd tell the old me to keep pushing. Hard work pays off eventually. Success comes from effort. I worked hard back then, no doubt, but I lacked patience. I wanted everything fast. I'd tell myself, Zlatan, be patient. Work hard and believe in yourself. The reporter, smiling and nodding in agreement, followed up, so how did you learn patience? Ibrahimović, bursting into laughter, his tone playful, learn that when you're young? I'd have to stand on my head. It's only when you're seasoned like me that you grasp what patience means. When you're young, your mind's all over the place, full of energy, wanting to conquer the world and learn everything. It's not easy. It takes time, and guidance from experienced people who slow you down, steady you, and show you life's real truths. The reporter, laughing along, his curiosity gleaming, pressed on, what will Zlatan Ibrahimovic's legacy be once your career ends? Ibrahimović, his eyes sparkling, his voice deep and warm, I don't know. Hopefully, I'll leave something behind to show I was useful, that I made a mark. Maybe some ideas, believing in yourself, having your own personality, not hesitating to think differently, and always staying open. The reporter, nodding with respect in his gaze, asked, have you ever made a mistake? Ibrahimović, smirking with unshakable confidence, every day. Look no further, sitting here talking to you guys is already a big mistake. He roared with laughter, lighting up the room. The reporter, chuckling along, then asked, what are you most proud of? Ibrahimović, his eyes shining, his voice thick with pride, I'm proud of what I've done. I came from a place where everyone judged me, always saying, impossible. They'd tell me to my face, yeah, he's nothing special. But here I am, still standing at 39, lacing up my boots like it's nothing. That's what I'm proud of. The reporter, nodding with admiration, asked, can you still get better? Ibrahimović, smiling faintly, his tone resolute, I think we can all be better than we were yesterday. It's about having the drive. The reporter, smiling back, continued, even you, now? Ibrahimović, nodding confidently, yeah. Everyone can become a better version of themselves. In my head, I push myself to the limit, and I've done that. Can I be even better? Some will say yes, some will say no. That debate's endless. The reporter, laughing softly, then asked, "So, do you ever get tired of the media, the fans, all of it?" Ibrahimović, shrugging casually, his voice calm, "It's part of the job. I don't get to choose. But when you're as good as me, it comes with the territory, and you learn to deal with it." The reporter, nodding, then asked, "What would you say to those who claim you're just a big player in small games?" Ibrahimović, smirking with pride, "To each their own. Everyone's got an opinion." The reporter, laughing along, pressed on, "Did that kind of talk bother you when you were younger?" Ibrahimović, shaking his head, his tone firm, "Not at all. It was like pouring fuel on the fire. It drove me to work harder. In a way, it backfired on them, gave me more motivation, like gasoline to keep pushing and never settle. All that criticism, I turned it into energy to fuel the flames." The reporter, nodding, then asked, "Do you have any regrets?" Ibrahimović, shaking his head, unwavering, "No. Everything in life happens for a reason." The reporter, following up, "Even never winning the Champions League?" Ibrahimović, chuckling softly, brimming with confidence, "No. Do you think winning the Champions League would make me better than I am?" The reporter, smiling lightly, then said, "Guess it's not necessary. Ronaldo, the phenomenon, never won it either." Ibrahimović, nodding with pride, "Exactly. If I'd won it, great. I didn't, but that doesn't make me less great. It's like someone saying, 'Hey Zlatan, no World Cup means you're not elite.' Okay, it's easier to win the World Cup as a Frenchman than a Swede. Back to the Champions League, the longer you wait for something, the more you value it, right? So I still have dreams. At club level, I've won everything except that. But I've got no complaints, I've done more than most. That's enough for me." The reporter, nodding, then asked, "You've never won a Ballon d'Or either. Are you missing it, or is the Ballon d'Or missing you?" Ibrahimović, smirking with pride, "Oh, the Ballon d'Or's definitely missing me." The reporter, laughing softly, then said, "You finished fourth in 2013, your best result. Does it feel odd not to have won it?" Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his confidence unshaken, "Let me put it this way. Every player wants an award to prove to the world they're number one. Deep down, I feel like I'm the best in the world. Sure, it's a prestigious award, but it's based on other people's votes. And you guys doing the voting, you know why I didn't win it." He laughed loudly, brightening the room again. The reporter, laughing along, then asked, "Messi and Ronaldo have won Ballons d'Or. What do they have that you don't?" Ibrahimović, chuckling softly, his confidence intact, "If you're talking about qualities as players, they've got nothing I don't. If you mean trophies, sure, I haven't won the Champions League. But I don't know how you guys calculate it. I'm not obsessed with it. A great team makes a great individual. You can't shine if the collective isn't strong." The reporter, nodding, then asked, "Where do you see yourself in football history? If there's a table, where do you sit?" Ibrahimović, chuckling softly, his tone confident, "What do you mean?" The reporter, smiling lightly, clarified, "I mean, where would you sit at that table?" Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his pride shining, "I don't think comparing players makes sense. Everyone plays in their own era, with different teammates. How do you even compare? Each person has their own story, and you've got to see it that way. My table's full of issues." The reporter, laughing along, then asked, "Do you think your attitude has ever held you back?" Ibrahimović, smirking confidently, "I'm just me. Everyone tries to be perfect. I'd say, be yourself, that's what perfection is. We're all different, but I don't change just to succeed." Why would I? I'll keep being me, no matter what. I play my way, I want to play my way, and win with my team. What comes, comes. I didn't choose fame. I don't get what you mean by held back. It's the job. If you're good, you get noticed. Everything has consequences. The reporter, nodding, then clarified, I didn't mean held back, but more like standing out beyond football. Ibrahimović, laughing loudly, his pride booming, oh, got it. But even then, it's tied to what happens on the pitch. People talk about you, but if you're a nobody, good luck becoming an icon. To me, then you're just a clown. The reporter, laughing along, then asked, so, are there a lot of clowns in football? Ibrahimović, roaring with laughter, his wit sharp, a whole bunch, a whole bunch. The reporter, smiling lightly, then said, you just mentioned becoming perfect. Ibrahimović, cutting in, his confidence unwavering, I said everyone wants to be perfect, and some carve out their own identity. I said being yourself is perfection within you. Like when you asked if I've made mistakes. Of course I have, but anyone who thinks they're perfect also thinks they've never messed up. The reporter, nodding, then asked, but in your eyes, being yourself is perfection? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his confidence shining, that's what I'm saying, that's perfection. But I don't try to be perfect, I just am me. So that's perfect. Like I said, it doesn't mean I don't mess up, I do. I remember when I got to the US, they picked 20 athletes for a perfect lineup. I was in it. Why? Because I'm me. Before this interview, I didn't ask you what the questions were, while most people would. After, they'd want to read it to see if they sounded good or bad. Me? I don't care. The reporter, laughing along, then asked, at PSG, you said on your departure, I came like a king and left like a legend. Is there a legend in Paris to succeed you now? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his pride ringing, like I said, every player has their own story. I had mine at PSG. Now it's someone else's turn to carve their own mark. I wrote, I came like a king and left like a legend. That's copyrighted, let others find their own lines. The reporter, nodding, then asked, is life just a series of stories, always with a beginning and an end? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his confidence firm, always. It's about how you start and how you finish. But if you achieve something, people will remember you. The reporter, smiling lightly, then asked, is it that important for us to remember you? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his tone bold, no. I do my job well, I come to contribute, to win, and to make a difference on the pitch. I don't force anyone to remember me. They do because I've done something. That's it. The reporter, laughing along, then asked, are you arrogant or conceited? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his confidence clear, I'm confident. Not arrogant, not conceited. The arrogant call me arrogant. The smart call me smart. The reporter, smiling lightly, then asked, being seen as special must feel pretty good, huh? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his tone grounded, I'm not special. I'm just a regular guy. The reporter, laughing along, then asked, so your stories and career make you special? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his confidence firm, that's a different thing. We're all equal, all normal. We're just different in our own ways, but at our core, we're the same. The reporter, nodding, then asked, is your behavior and personality a way to hide your flaws? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his confidence unshaken, when you reach my level, you don't have a choice. I'm not here to spill my life to the world. I'm a pro footballer, I share what I want. I'm not some Instagram clown waking up thinking, what pretty picture should I post to say hi to my fans? I share stuff from my professional life. My private life's important, and I keep it to myself. Professionally, I share because it's part of the job. I don't hide anything. I just keep what's private, private. The reporter, nodding, then asked, you talk about confidence, is it a shield for your vulnerable side? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his tone bold, no way. Confidence means trusting what you do and who you are. It shapes you. Maybe it gives you an edge, makes you feel good. But it's not hiding anything. It's strength, not weakness, power, energy. The reporter, nodding, then asked, through your behavior, are you trying to push away your deepest vulnerabilities? Every time you act that way, does it take you back to your childhood in Rosengard, when you were mocked as weak? That must have hurt, right? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his confidence steady, no. I'm vulnerable too, I've got feelings, weaknesses, things that hurt me. I'm not the Hulk. I'm not Superman. On the pitch or off it, people see me as confident, but I can be vulnerable. I've got flaws and emotions like anyone. That's normal. The reporter, nodding, then asked, still playing Superman or Hulk, though, right? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his tone firm, I don't think I'm playing any role. I'm just me. No more, no less. Ibra hesitates, I'd say I was raised that way, grew up, lived life, and built my own experiences to mature. Now I've got a family, 2 kids, that's part of life. I'm moving through new chapters. I've had rough times, happy times, normal times. You go through it all, and it makes you who you are now. I'm me today. In 6 months or a year, I might be someone else. It depends on life's twists. I'm not 35, 30, or 25 anymore. I don't think the same way. But I'll still be me. That's what matters. I'm more mature, handling things differently on and off the pitch, depending on the situation. I want to reap the rewards of my top-level career and share my experience with my teammates for as long as I can. The reporter, nodding, then asked, almost 40 now, are you still a tough guy? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his confidence shining, oh come on, do you guys really see me as some gangster? Ibra laughs, you've got my picture. I'm not a gangster. If it's because I'm nearly 2 meters tall and still ripped, it's because I train hard, not because I'm some street thug from Venice Beach flexing all day. I was born this way, my parents are big too, so I got the genes. I adapt my game to my build and my age now. I'm not as fast as I was at 25 or 30, but I still give everything for the team. I'm not as tough as you think. The reporter, laughing along, then asked, so, are you nice? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his tone warm, yeah. Get to know me, and you'll see I've got a kind heart. Otherwise, I'm just a jerk in your eyes. The reporter, smiling lightly, then asked, do you want everyone to like you? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his confidence clear, no. I just want people to recognize when I do something useful. Liked or hated. I mean, what's love? Tell me. Love comes from those close to you, your family. Even fans, sure. Like at Inter, the fans loved me, but when I left, no more love. So what's love? The reporter, nodding, then said, family, the people around you. Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his tone firm, exactly. You do well, you're loved, then suddenly, you're not. That's love? Nah. I don't need to be liked. I just want fairness and respect for what I do when I deliver. But that's part of something bigger. I don't chase love like those who do charity just so people say, oh, he's such a good guy. That feels fake. If I want to do something, I do it from the heart, and no one needs to know. Some people do it for the praise, wow, that guy's awesome, he donated to a hospital, to COVID relief. I do it too, but I don't brag. That's the big difference. The reporter, nodding, then asked, is that the ugliest side of football today? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his tone bold, that's the world now. Everyone wants to be perfect. They build an image, like, oh wow. But the truth comes out eventually. Look at Tiger Woods, the perfect man of the planet. Just be yourself, don't fake it or try to be someone else, or you'll pay for it later. If you want to do something, do it. Don't do it because someone says it's good or useful or will make you perfect. That's like being puppet. I don't roll that way. What you see on my social media is my real life. Real person, real stuff. One me, not two. The reporter, smiling lightly, then asked, no touch-ups either? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his tone playful, no filters, no coloring. Both a nod to Instagram edits and meaning no two-faced living. The reporter, nodding, then asked, when we asked if you want to be liked, we thought you'd memorize the Swedish anthem. Were we wrong to think you want full recognition in your homeland? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his confidence firm, as a kid, I didn't feel Swedish, Ibra's dad is Bosnian, his mom Croatian. They made me feel different. I was treated, judged, and seen differently. So I didn't feel fully Swedish. They made me feel that way. If they'd made me feel like one of them, maybe I'd have seen myself as 100% Swedish back then. Now, I'd say I'm fully Swedish. When I was young, I thought differently about it. Now, older, with experience, I'm 100% Swedish. I represent a new Sweden, a new world. Same in France, some still talk about an old France. Come on. It's 2021. The world's a mix now, with contrasting colors. But that doesn't mean you're not fully French or Swedish. As a kid, you don't get it all, it's a phase of learning, gathering info to shape your understanding. You'll hit bumps. Everything has consequences. Mentally, if you're treated differently because you're different, you suffer. It's like kids bullied at school. People say, it's fine, it'll pass. They don't get the lasting mental scars. A bullied kid can end up unstable, damaged. I say a punch hurts for 5 minutes, bullying can scar you for life. Those old school thinkers grew up in a dated world, ignorant, thinking it's still the past. My wife's 100% Swedish. Our kids are different but still fully Swedish. That's the beauty. That's the flat, diverse, unbiased world we live in. The reporter, nodding, then asked, do you still feel racism in Sweden? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his tone bold, not personally, but it's still there. It's everywhere in the world. Ignorant people still exist, even while we're here sharing love and passion for our crafts. For me, that's football. I don't play anything else to spread love. The best way I can spread it is through football. That's it. The reporter, nodding, then asked, your view's pretty different from LeBron James, huh? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his confidence clear, I've said we're not politicians. Politics divides. Football, in my world, unites. Big difference. Football gave me chances to meet and bond with people I'd never have met otherwise, people from all corners of the world. It brings us together. Politics pulls us apart. If I wanted to be a politician, I'd do it. We should stick to what we're best at. Sports and politics are separate. If you're smart, you'll get it. The reporter, nodding, then asked, not because you're afraid to speak up? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his tone firm, whether I speak up isn't the point. It's about actions and the message you send. Us footballers bring love and joy. You can't drag your politics into that world. I'm not here to send bad vibes. I'm here to unite, spread love, and joy. That's the best we can do. That's what sports are. And it's what we're best at. My craft is football. And I'm damn good at it. The reporter, nodding, then asked, what makes you sad? Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his tone reflective, depends on the phase of life. Now I've got a family. So the current situation saddens me. Living through COVID-19, the world's totally changed. Things in Italy are improving, I can go out to eat, meet people. But it feels weird. Like I'm not used to it anymore. All I want is to go home. I'm not used to the old routines. I've gotten used to staying in, wearing a mask for so long. Getting back to normal won't be easy. I hope things settle, and we all adjust again. It'll get back to how it's meant to be, though there'll be future fallout for sure. The reporter, nodding, then asked, "What scares you?" Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his tone steady, "Fear? Depends on how you look at it. I'm not afraid of challenges. I'm not afraid to try new things. I'm afraid of..." Ibra hesitates, "Illness." "Yeah, illness. But you can't worry forever, or you'll lose it." "Sure, I've got fears, but I'm an optimist. Or at least, I try to be." The reporter, nodding, then asked, "Speaking of fear, did becoming a dad make it grow?" Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his tone warm, "You can't call it fear with kids. It's more a weakness. When you have kids, they become your biggest vulnerability. It's sensitivity, emotion. They're your weak spot. You're not just living for yourself anymore, it's for them. They become the most important thing. What happens in their lives suddenly matters way more than your own stuff. That's the weakness." Ibra pauses. "Hey, guys, we've been talking for 30 minutes. I'm done. I'm expensive, you know." The reporter, laughing heartily, then asked, "So how much are you worth?" Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his confidence bold, "A lot. Go ask PSG." The reporter, laughing along, then asked, "How about 5 or 10 more minutes?" Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his tone playful, "Okay. Fine. But I've got a ton of stuff to do." The reporter, nodding, then asked, "We want to ask about retirement. Leaving football must feel strange, right?" Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his tone thoughtful, "Probably. For any player, retiring's tough. Your whole career, you're programmed. Wake up, breakfast, train, finish, get taken care of, lunch prepped, go home, recover, family time or chill, same thing every day. Hit repeat. Your mind's on autopilot. I've done that for 25 years. The day you stop, that first morning you wake up and think, what the hell do I do now? You're not programmed anymore, it's a new chapter. That's what scares me. What'll I do? Anyway, I'm not there yet. I don't want to think about it. When it comes, I'll figure it out." The reporter, nodding, then said, "In France, we call it la petite mort, the little death." Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his tone firm, "Yeah, that's the word. But it depends on your character, how you bounce back, how you cope. It's not easy." The reporter, smiling lightly, then asked, "You wouldn't just let loose after retiring, right? Drinking what you want, eating whatever." Ibrahimović, laughing heartily, his tone bold, "After my career, I'll vanish completely. When you've lived as long as I have, you know what you've been through, physically and mentally. So I'll just disappear and enjoy life." End narration **. And that's the story of Zlatan Ibrahimović, a man, a legend, and a soul full of reflection. Football history will never forget his name, because Zlatan isn't just an exceptional player, he's someone who knows how to live true to himself. The France Football interview, by reporters Johan Tabau and Thomas Simon, with Ibrahimović took place on May 5 but was published in September, lasting 40 minutes. When asked to rate it on a scale of 10, Ibra said, 20. His suggested title, "Hey, I made you guys famous." When asked, "What question should reporters never ask you?" Ibra replied, that's your problem, not mine. You ask, I answer. And so, this captivating conversation between Zlatan Ibrahimović and the reporter came to an end, leaving listeners with an unforgettable impression of a proud, confident man who's also profoundly deep and human.